Good morning, guys. Waiting to get my marching orders from what time I'm supposed to help my daughter this morning with a few things. It's 9:15 at the moment. At any rate, while I'm waiting, I thought I would post this. I don't know, probably everybody's talked about the opening of the Olympics yesterday in Paris. People talk about, a lot of the rituals and stuff. It didn't take very long for God to let Paris know that he wasn't very happy with the blasphemy and the mockery and the inversion of his table, because that's what they did. They just perverted the table of the Lord. The Last Supper. They turned it around backwards and they mocked it. That's what they did. That's because the Antichrist spirit is here. And what really still blows me away is the amount of denial among people who are supposed to be Christians. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are watching what's happening right now. I, for one, have been watching these events as they unfold, because I know what they mean. I know the time period that we're in. We're in the season of the rapture any second now. Any second now. I'm really just kind of confused, I guess, and perplexed maybe by the attitudes of so many people who are Christians, who, okay, I talked about the Mallory effect for a long time on this channel. The scripture in the King James Version is changing. People will say that can't happen and call me a liar and quote all their scripture to prove it. But I memorized it myself. I memorized it in the King James Version. I hid it in my heart. And that's how I know. That's how I know. It's changed. I know it's changed. I don't have to be convinced. But what I've noticed is that there are a lot of people that can't be convinced because they want to believe that it's not true, and so they continue to believe that. It's like when Orange Man, right, Cheeto Puff, stood up there and told this whole group of Christians that he wasn't a Christian, and what did they hear? They heard he said he was a Christian. Because you hear what you want to hear, because your ears are itching. Okay, and speaking of ears, I was joking around. I said you would think that he would have heard that shooter on the roof before he even got shot, because he had an ear out for him. But bad joke, yeah. Whatever. The whole thing is a show. And really, when you look at it, these are just the minor attractions to what's happening next, what's getting ready to unfold. And they're trying to lift the curtains on the stage and tell you that the presentation is about to begin, right? Refreshments in the lobby, right? Here we go, it's about to begin. And we saw that with this, I like to call it the opening of the portal, but the Olympic Games. In Paris. We saw what happened. It was foretold that a green train would have some kind of a weird problem during the time of the Olympics. I can't remember this guy's name, but he was the guy that predicted that Trump's ear would get shot. And he predicted a lot of other things that have been happening, including he predicted predicted the collapse of the economy, which is pretty much as imminent as the rapture right now, it looks like. We're seeing it all happen. It feels like we're down to the last few minutes to me, but I've felt like this before. And, you know, a lot of people don't feel that at all. But the Mallory effect is just one of those things. If you can't see that because you don't want to, then you're never going to. Just like this man can tell you the truth and look you in the eye, but he's under soul contract. He has to tell you. He has to tell you. He tells you he's a snake. You knew I was a snake before you let me in. Why would you tell that story to your constituents? Why? Right? Why? Because he has to. He's under soul contract. That's why. Nobody's talking about any of this. Nobody, the Christians that I talk to, aside from the ones who are watching, are completely asleep as to what time it is. They don't know what season we're in. They don't have any kind of clue at all. I've tuned into broadcasts on YouTube of my old church who used to put up, you know, video from the congregation. You could kind of see that there wasn't very many people there. And I'm basically just looking and searching for anything that had to do with biblical prophecy and what's happening right now, but they're not talking about it. What I did note, though, was they had an announcement a few years ago about one of those trunk or treat things for Halloween that they were having for their Wednesday. In place of their Wednesday prayer meeting, they were having trunk or treat in the parking lot for the neighborhood kids, and then they were going to go over to another location across town and do it again on Sunday, or I believe it was Saturday evening, in place of, I think, the Sunday meeting or something like that. And I'm like, or Sunday evening, that's what it was. It was Sunday evening. So instead of having a Sunday evening service, they had another trunk or treat. And I'm like, wow. Because this used to be a conservative Baptist church at one time. So that's how much things have changed. You see what I mean? Things have completely changed. When I was a kid, a guy got in trouble for playing an acoustic guitar. I think it was Sunday evening service, and they said that just wasn't right. It should only be on Wednesday. It's a lot less formal on Wednesday, and they shouldn't have any kind of guitar like that. Well, now they've got drums and electric guitars. So, what's changed? I mean, obviously their doctrine has changed. Their view of, or their beliefs, I should say, about how they do their services, that's changed. All we like sheep have gone astray, everyone. Turned to their own way. We don't have much time left. All of the signs are here, and this is the falling away that we're seeing. We're witnessing it right in front of us. This is the falling away. Pray for everybody you love, man. Pray for them all the time. Especially if they don't know who Jesus is, because they need to know. I ask Jesus to go after all of his sheep if they're his. I pray for my kids, because sometimes I wonder. For the most part, I feel pretty good about it, but sometimes I'm not sure, you know. That's my own, I don't know what they're, I got a pretty good idea, I should say, but I'm not, you know, it's just one of those things, and it's not just them. I pray for other people that I know that aren't saved, that I care about. I pray that God will go find them. If they're His sheep, that He'll go find His lost sheep. Because it's time to go. So anyway, I hope it's soon, man. I really do. I hear all these people saying that, man. I just hope it's soon. I hope it's soon. And then there's other people that I hear saying things, and a lot of them are Christians too, and this still blows me away. It's like, they say things like, well, you know, I'd like to be hopeful that things could turn around and, you know, things could be a lot better, you know. It's like, why? Why? You know the time we're in, Jesus says, see to it that no man deceives you. Why would you want to stay here? Why would that be your hope? I mean, why would you hope that that might happen for a little while longer? Why do you want to stay here longer? Look at this place. I don't want to stay here any longer. I want to leave now, right now. If I could go and be gone, I'd go. I'd go. We're waiting for the Lord. I'm waiting for the Lord. Any second now. That's what it feels like. We are definitely in the season. It's escalating exponentially, the evil. You can feel it around you. I feel it in the traffic. It's the truth. And I'm not the only one. I think Tom at Watchman River said that. I can tell when somebody's going to do something crazy now because I can feel their energy coming up next to me in traffic. We're living in some really weird times, man. Put on your spiritual armor. Stay alert. Stock up on food and water for a little while. Maybe. Wouldn't hurt. Just fill up your pantry. I'm not talking about prepping or anything like that. Just get a few extra things, maybe a little extra cash. Just a good idea in general. It's just something I try to do myself. I'm not telling you to do anything crazy. But it's just not a bad idea. Just do things like your grandmother used to do, you know? Stock up a little bit, because you don't know what tomorrow might bring. We do know that we have a blessed hope, and that's what I'm waiting for, and that's all I want. That's all I want. What do I want to do? I want to go home. Love you guys.